Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. How are you this beautiful Sunday morning? Has anybody else discovered that the weeks are flying by really fast? It's like, weren't we just here a moment ago? So glad you returned this morning. Hey, I have good news for you this morning. It's National Sugar Cookie Day.
Hey!
I'm not a huge sugar cookie fan, but given the option between sugar cookie and no cookie, sugar cookie wins, yeah? Hey, that's a good thing. I want to quickly remind you that tomorrow evening I'm hosting a prayer chaplain orientation via Zoom. If the prayer chaplain ministry is something that you're interested in, we're having training in August, and this is the orientation just to kind of let you know about the program, what to expect, and that sort of thing. So sign up for that on the website. Please do that today if you intend to attend tomorrow evening at 6:30. Also, did you know that we have a yard sale coming? Yeah, next Sunday, July 16th, after the service, we will be ready and anxious to begin receiving your donated items for the yard sale. You can also drop off items that Monday through Thursday of that week, and there will be someone at the church here between 9 and 1 each of those days to help you with your items. If for some reason you need help at other times, other than these, then just let the office know or let Melinda Kay or Sandy Light know. And are either one of those individuals here this morning? Okay, Melinda's back there, so you can connect with Melinda if you need a different time. And you can leave items in the pavilion if you're having a difficult time making any of those drop-off times. Please remember that it's next Sunday following the service. Please do not bring all your stuff in here prior to service. That could get rather interesting. But the yard sale will be Friday the 21st and Saturday the 22nd from 8 to 1. So thank you for your donations of items for that, and thank you for volunteering if you're a part of that effort. So we appreciate it. So did you have a good week? Yes. I understand that twice this past week, I believe it was, we had the hottest day on the planet ever recorded or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I knew that. I knew that. I'm trying to get to my daily word here. It's like, yeah, I knew that. It was hot. It was hot. We're going to move into our daily word and take a few moments to get quiet. So if you just want to take a couple of breaths, I'm looking for it here. I had it. Here we go. Take a couple nice deep breaths with me this morning. We're going to be bringing a discussion here just shortly about one of our powers that we innately all have, and it's that power of understanding. But our affirmation for this morning is, I look within and discover my power, my own power. Great power lies within me like a treasure chest full of gold and precious jewels buried in my own backyard. It is so close that I sometimes overlook it, leading me to search near and far, seeking strength and value outside of myself. Yet my power is my potential, a gift for me to discover. I am endowed with wisdom, love, understanding, and creativity gemstones meant to be uncovered and shared with the world. I am rich in my capacity to use these gifts to reach goals and create my life with intentionality. As I think, speak, and behave in accordance with my divine abilities, I share my treasures. I bring into the light the hidden parts of myself, knowing that my power comes from expressing my best self. And Ephesians 2:10 reminds us that for we are what he has made us, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand to be our way of life. So let's say together again, I look within and discover my power. All right, Reverend James.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? If you're here, could you please stand? Did you find a couple folks to say hello to this morning? Can you do that? Let's sing. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be bright, bright sunshiny day. I can make it now, the pain is gone. And all of the bad feelings have disappeared. There's the rainbow I've been praying for, yeah. It's gonna be bright, bright sunshiny day. Yes it is. It's gonna be bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue sky. Just smile at somebody. Bright, sunny day. It's gonna be bright, bright, sunny day. I can see clearly now. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Dark clouds that had me blind. Oh, it's gonna be bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be bright, 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 sunshiny day. Yeah. It's gonna be bright, bright, sunshiny day. One more time. It's gonna be bright, bright, sunshiny day. All right, before you're seated, tell them, say, I can see you more clearly now. Hey, it is July. It's July, and you know there are certain people who've had birthdays today, this month. Certain folks. If you had a July birthday, please raise your hand. We want to acknowledge. Look at all the July birthdays.
July birthdays.
Yeah. So how old are you? Oh, I'm just kidding.
Huh?
We don't need to know that, right? It's just a number. Who cares anyway? So
I knew these were my peeps.
yeah. Yeah, it's Leah's birthday, what, next week? Yeah. I know when it is, 7/14/63.
You didn't have to put the year on there.
Oh, I meant 93.
Wow, Wow, do we have to talk?
What can I say to that? You know, I think it's time to sing Happy Birthday. Can you give us a key?
A key. Any key.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, July people. Happy birthday to you.
Way off, yeah.
All right. Another trip around the sun. And for you, today we're going to be talking about understanding, which is the power, one of the 12 powers for the month of July. So we know that you are very understanding people, right? Yeah.
Why don't the kids come on up? I know your little brain is trying to figure out how you're going to get out of trouble.
Flowers, chocolate,
Oh, thank you.
something will work.
Oh,
There you go. Thank you. Oh, that's so
thank you,
sweet.
Oh, precious. Look, flowers.
I know. All right, let's move along here. God is,
God is,
and I am.
I am,
I create,
I create,
and I pray,
pray,
and I act
I act
on the truth that I know. God is,
God is,
and I am.
I am,
I create,
I create,
and I pray, and I act
I act
on the truth that I know. There is only one God. There is only one love. All right.
Okay.
Fantastic. You guys feeling pretty good this morning? Tired. Are you tired?
Again?
You always say that. Very busy. They're very busy. Very busy. So let's send you off to your class with a blessing.
We
love you.
We
bless you. We behold the Christ in you. We appreciate you. And we bless your teachers too. Let's give them a hand. Yeah. All right.
I was so shocked by you giving out the year of my birth that I yelled so loud I made myself hoarse.
Well, aren't you the one that told me that it's just a number? You didn't really care?
Yeah, I'm
It's
looking for
fine.
some understanding.
Well, maybe you
Good
can.
thing we're talking about
Maybe
understanding.
you can find that this morning. Somebody will give you some understanding.
You know, Proverbs 16:22 says that understanding is the foundation of life to those who have it.
It's also the fountain of life.
It is.
Yeah.
Fountain and foundation.
Yeah.
Because it's a good foundation and it's a good fountain. You can look up the scripture and see which one it says.
Well, you know, Charles Fillmore.
I forgive you. We can move on from here.
She's just trying to look good. I'm still going to get it. No, I'm just kidding. Charles Fillmore said that there are two ways to gain understanding. Number one is to follow your guidance, the Spirit within you. Or, secondly, is to learn from personal experience or the hard way. However you want to do it. Wouldn't it be better to just kind of move with Spirit and be open to hear before you open your mouth and insert your foot? I have had some experience with that.
You know, each of these powers is associated with a disciple and a color and a location in the body. And so the power of understanding is represented by the apostle Thomas. Does anybody remember the story of Thomas or kind of remember what his tag is? Doubting Thomas, right. He represents the ability to see beyond appearances to reality, believe it or not. Doubting disciple Thomas became the apostle that understood the truth.
Yeah. He became the apostle of understanding because he had to go through this process. How many know that everybody has their process? Tell the person next to you, say, I got my process. And then just repeat back to them and say, I know. I know.
I know.
So it's located in the frontal part, the forefront of the brain is where it is actually processed and represented is in the front part of the brain, which mine's not working real good. And the color is what?
Gold.
Gold.
A good way to remember that is when you think about when you finally have an understanding about something and there's that old, right? It's right here. Oh, yeah.
Could have had a V8.
Could have had a V8. So it's right, it's right here. And understanding works in tandem with wisdom and love.
Yeah.
All of these powers really you want to have balanced in your life because they do all kind of interlock and work together. But understanding is particularly important with wisdom and love.
Yeah. And our affirmation is, my understanding of truth deepens and directs my life. Our understanding of truth. The deeper you go with truth, the more it is rooted and established inside of you. The more understanding you have, then the more your life just begins to enter into a state of flow. Right? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now there's two kinds of understanding that Mr. Fillmore talked about. One is underdeveloped understanding, which results in a person who has difficulty comprehending and knowing easily, resulting in a diminished ability to perceive beyond the literal. Have you ever met a literalist? They're beautiful, wonderful people, but they see everything literally, right? How many have gotten to the point in your growth emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, in all ways, and you realize now that it's not all literal. Life is not literal, right? And so the more you see that, the more you understand that it's really about this wonderful archetypal awareness of life, right? Mm-hmm. Different people represent different messages. They represent different ideas for us. And so it's the idea that you want to capture or understand the message that each person has for you. Because if you keep having somebody show up in your life over and over and over and over again, then what do you need? You need the power of understanding. You need to understand why they keep showing up. Say it with me. Oh.
See, there it is again. Oh, yeah. This power can also be overdeveloped. And when it's overdeveloped, it results in a person who comes across as a know-it-all. You don't know any of those, right? A know-it-all, they perceive things that are not even there, literally or figuratively. See, it's important to have understanding, but we always want to approach life and every situation with an open, empty cup. I may know things, I may have understanding about things, but I don't have it all. When I look at the scriptures, if I look at them literally, I miss so much of the beautiful, deeper understanding that's hidden there. And if I just look at things with a general surface understanding, I can miss the deeper meanings and purposes there. And when I do that by coming across as I have it all figured out. I understand everything, I know everything, and that is not a place that we want to put ourselves in. We always want to have that wondering, questioning, empty cup to be filled.
The Zen mind.
Yeah.
The beginner's mind.
Yes. Because I can guarantee you don't have it all figured out. Because if you did, you wouldn't be here.
You'd be somewhere else.
Right? When we get it all figured out and we're doing it all perfectly, we no longer have a reason to be here.
Yeah.
Ooh. So see, mistakes, little imperfections, little gaffes, those are all good things, James. Those are all good things.
I'm glad it's working for me.
Those are all good things. Yeah, I think it's important for us to always remember. Sometimes I think we get on the hobby horse of thinking, I got to be perfect now. I got to have it all figured out now.
Yeah.
My life is
It's a
just,
trap.
And no, it's all about the journey. It's not about being there, getting there. It's about the journey. So everything is perfect in its time.
That's right.
It's
a perfectionism trap that people get into. They think they have to be perfect. And
that life has to be perfect.
Yeah, that life has to be perfect, that everybody has to be perfect, everything has to be perfect, or I'm not going to be happy. As soon as the world gets straightened out, then I'll smile. How many of you have ever looked into a mirror and told the mirror to smile? Smile, mirror. Guess what? It will not smile till you smile. You get what you give. You receive what you put out. How many understand this? Right? It's so important to really get it. To really get it, because sometimes, this happened to me, and, I had nothing at all to do with this. But you've always got a little bit of responsibility that you need to take, right? How many understand if you just do your part in everything that you do and say, do your part. Be responsible for what you say. Be responsible for how you act. And if you act in an unkind way, or if you declare a birthday date that you weren't supposed to, then as soon as possible, you make amends. It's like a back rub, dear.
Yeah. It's funny, we've been walking down the street and that proverbial boomerang comes and hits us in the head, and we're like, what did I do? I've been nothing but good. What did I do? But, you put that stuff out there, and eventually it does make the turn, and it comes around. So we do need to be mindful and thoughtful and have some understanding about those things that are showing up in our lives.
Absolutely. It's a collective creation. We're all creating it together, but I've got a little bit of responsibility here.
Yeah.
Okay? That I need to be responsible for. And if everybody just does that, if you could just be responsible for you, then I won't have to be responsible for you, right? And if I will just be responsible, you won't have to be responsible for me. Make sense? And that's the gift that we give to each other. That's the gift that we give. And then for those who cannot, for whatever reason, then we pull ourselves together and we help them. We do what we can, right? And that's what it's all. And this is the elevated consciousness. The elevated consciousness. It is the ability to know and comprehend based on ideas, truths, principles, and laws that are divine in nature. You understand that there's a universal law that was established. And this understanding helps us to become and be the best person we can be. Don't you want to know what the rules of the game are? Sometimes we have the game night, and so we're going to learn a new game. And so somebody reads the directions like, yeah, I kind of sort of get it, but I don't really get it till I start playing the game. And then as I play the game, then the rules start to make sense. And I start, this is how it works, When I do that, I've got to draw another card, keep drawing and keep drawing until I get the one I need. And that's the way life works. When you understand the rules, the laws, the principles of life, then that sets you in harmony with all of it. Say it with me. Ah, yeah.
And to really understand something, someone, you've got to ask questions.
Yeah.
It begins with questions.
It's important to be curious, isn't it?
It is.
It's important to be constantly and Jesus talked about being like a little child. Mm-hmm. And I remember when our children were small, they had so many questions. Mm-hmm. And you start talking about something and they would say, why? Why? Well, because, well, why is that? Well, because, and then, well, why is that? And you go, I don't know, it's just the way it is. No.
But that's just the way we need to be.
Yeah.
Well, why? I get that question answered, or maybe that answer gets questioned, because then it's another. Well, why that? Let things constantly be unfolding back to that beginner's mind,
Absolutely.
asking the why, the questions.
Just don't be a why-ner.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Why?
Why-ner. Why? Because then that puts us in a more of a victim consciousness. And when you're in a victim consciousness, everything outside of you will feel like it's attacking you. You will feel overwhelmed. And it's important to not do that to yourself, but to see yourself that I'm in this play of form. I'm in these relationships with the world, with everybody. And so I want to learn how to be with these folks. And it's okay to ask questions, isn't it? It's always good to ask questions and question those old ways of thinking.
Yes, that's one of the things that we really need to question is, why am I thinking this way? Where did this belief come from?
Yeah.
Well, because a lot of things that we believe and we act on are things that are there programmed from our childhood that aren't necessarily serving us well as adults, right? So we ask, we question beliefs. Why do I believe this? Well, because mom told me, because grandma told me. Well, that might have been fine for them, but that's not a good enough reason for me to know and understand why I believe this. You have to believe what you believe for you. You have to understand your beliefs. Not just because James or I said something. You dig into it for yourself. Part of the problem we have today is that nobody's digging into things for themselves. They're just listening to the latest whatever, and they're not looking for truth themselves. And we have to look for truth for us. And then we can say with confidence, I believe this because. And we know why we believe it.
Yeah. Well, the desire for understanding will lead to revelation and awakening. That's how we wake up, is to have a desire for understanding. I want to understand. I want to understand, why this is happening, what's going on. And I want to question it. I want to really begin to sink my teeth into it, and figure it out. Not in just a judgmental way, right? It's easy to be judgmental. It's easy to criticize. It's easy to blame, right? Whenever we do those kinds of things, we are operating out of our ego persona, okay? And we're being very shallow. So people who are constantly judging and blaming and accusing, let's stop that, right? Let's say it together. Stop it. Let's do it again. Stop it. One more time. Stop it. Thank you. Sometimes I talk to myself. I do. And I say, self, you need to stop it. And I tell myself, listen, This is temporary, what you're experiencing right now. It will change. Say it with me. It will change.
Anybody experienced any change? Anybody experienced anything that they thought was a life-altering thing and it changed or something changed?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a gradual dawning. You know, some people want enlightenment. I want enlightenment and I want it now.
You couldn't handle it all
Well, that's
right
true.
now.
That's
You
true.
know?
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like when the light comes on early in the morning. You ever been up early in the morning and the light begins to gradually dawn and it begins to arise early in the morning until you have the full light of day? That's the awakening. That's what understanding leads to. I'm waking up. I'm seeing things clearly now. Right?
See, there was some understanding there. You heard that.
Yes. Light is mentioned over 200 times in the Bible and 72 times in the New Testament. It says, be the light, walk in the light. You are the light, share the light. I am the light. Don't hide your light. The Lord is my light. Right? And what does the word light, what is it saying? Well, if you go beyond the literal, you begin to see whenever it talks about light, it's talking about enlightenment. Now say it with me. Enlightenment. It's fabulous to hang out with enlightened people because they don't judge you. They're not mad at you. They're just with you. They're just being with you. They're supportive. They're uplifting. This is the enlightened state of pure awareness and perfect understanding. Doesn't that sound good? Genesis 1:3. Then God said, let there be light. And there was light. So we know that enlightenment is coming. It's dawning on each one of us. Every day when that sun comes up in the morning, that's a promise that enlightenment is coming to the world, coming to each and every one of us. Can you see it? It's a beautiful thing. So there's a prayer in the Bible. And this is from the Amplified. It says, and I pray that the eyes of your heart, the very center and core of your being, may become enlightened, flooded with light by the Spirit, so that you will know and cherish the hope, the divine guarantee, the confident expectation to which you have been called. How many know you're here on assignment? You've got an appointment. This is your appointment. All you have to do is show up. Confident to which, or this divine guarantee, the confident expectation to which you are called to the riches of the glorious inheritance in the saints or the sacred people. Say with me, I'm sacred, and so are you. You feel that? Your body is the temple of Spirit. This phrase, the eyes of your understanding being enlightened, means that the eyes of your soul, Jesus said, if your eye be single, your whole body will be flooded and filled with enlightenment. Your single focus. We know that the science of biology has proven through research that the eyes are able to produce vision by us by interpreting light in the form of signals which the brain understands. It takes understanding, doesn't it? There's a process happening physically, biologically, to you every day. You're seeing the world out here, and your brain is reinterpreting it and putting all those light frequencies together, so that everything makes sense, so that I see you and you and you and you. I see you in the light. Everything is light. Your body is made of light. It's just that we haven't seen it because what? We don't understand. All right?
So Proverbs 9:1 says, wisdom has built her house. She has set up its 7 pillars, 7 being the number of completeness or perfection. So we're talking about perfect understanding. Wisdom builds the temple, the soundness of an action or decision with regard to the application of experience, knowledge, and good judgment. Understanding is what makes up the pillars in the temple of wisdom. And to understand means to stand under and observe. Just like a mechanic with a car on a lift, so that they can stand underneath it and observe it. Understanding allows us to observe what is standing under, what is underneath this. A pillar understands the responsibility of the temple. It holds things up, right? Just like a table leg understands the weight and responsibility for the table that it holds up. Understanding brings balance and stability so that the table can perform the function for which it was made, its true nature. So what were you designed for? What are your gifts and talents? This is the truth of who you are. Who are you? What are your gifts and talents? Think about that for just a second.
Do you understand?
Who are you?
Yeah. I mean, no, it's a gradual understanding.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gradual understanding. You begin to realize that everything you do is part of the gifts because you are the gift. Say it with me, I am the gift.
I am the gift. I am the gift.
And let's say this, it's all a gift.
It's all a gift.
All right? It's all a gift.
Wow, it's all a gift.
So what is the truth? The truth about something is all the facts about it. It's rather than the assumption or guesswork. How many know that if something is true, you can stand for it? You can stand with it. It'll stand for you because it's the truth. It's the truth. And when you understand your purpose, you can stand in the knowing that whatever you do is divinely guided. Even relationships need understanding.
Yes, they do.
If you want connection and harmony, you have to learn how to go within the relationship. Go within the relationship. Do you know what I mean by that? Think about that.
Yeah.
When we go within the relationship, we can observe and comprehend who they are and what they need. But if you're not willing to do that, then you're not really in the relationships. A lot of people just exist together.
Yeah.
But in a type of relationship, but it's very superficial. They don't really understand the other person.
That's why it's so easy to fall into that judging and condemnation and blaming and all, is because we don't really understand who they are, where they've been, what they come from. We don't understand. We don't have that understanding.
So I want to be a good table leg.
Yeah.
I want to be a good pillar.
Yeah.
I want to stand under and support the relationship.
Yeah.
I want to support this relationship with my words, with my thoughts, with my actions. I want to be supportive. Whatever you support will be balanced, will be stable. Make sense? So, where does understanding end up? Where does it lead to? Well, it leads to love. That's where it goes. It's not just having understanding, but allowing that understanding to take you into a true revelation of love. What is love? It's the true value and worth of another. I see you. I see your value. I see that you are worthy. That's love. That's love. When you can look at the people in your life and you see their worthiness. But I don't see it. I'm trying real hard, but I don't see it. And that's because you're only looking at it from one perspective, from one angle. And if you allow yourself to open up a little bit, you look at it a little differently. Look at them a little, from over here, and you go, oh, wait a minute. Oh, wow, what is that? There's something I hadn't seen before about them. And it causes what? Appreciation. Because you begin to know who they are. And love arises through the deeper understanding of each other. Because we truly understand each other. Wow. Recently they had the little ship that went down into the ocean and had the explosion. The ocean holds many life forms. There's more under the ocean that we have not even discovered or thought about or named yet, that we're still unaware of. And you and I are like the ocean. There's still potential there. There's still things in there. There are the depths that have not been plumbed, And so it's important to go below the superficial, go below the surface, go within. You understand what that means now? Right? It's not just, well, I'm going to go home and go within. I don't even know what that means. How about now? I'm going within. I'm living from the inside. See? I'm no longer just living in my head. Most people just walk around living in their head, they're just bobbing around. Right? But live from the inside. Feel, connect, understand, and affirm your power to understand.
And if you're presented with something that you don't have a full understanding of yet, it's okay. I have things like that, and what I do is I have a proverbial shelf in my world, right? And I put them on the shelf because the sun is still rising on those things, right? I don't have the full...
Still in process.
Yeah, it's still in process. I don't throw it away. I just put it on the shelf, and at some point, it'll come back around, and it'll have more illumination.
Yeah.
There'll be a deeper understanding about it. I have a lot of things on my shelf, right? Because remember, it's that beginner's mind. Asking questions about things is a good practice. So I have a lot of things on my proverbial shelf, and that's okay until you get the full understanding of it.
It's okay to put things up there. What happens though, after a while, the shelf gets so heavy that stuff starts falling off. And you go, oh, what's this? What's this? Maybe it's time to deal with it, right?
It's like when you read a book. I know you've all experienced this. You read a book, and then you read it again in a year, and you go, that wasn't in there the first time I read that book. Right?
Yeah.
It's, I'm in a different place.
Yeah.
I see it a little differently now. I've experienced some things. I have a little deeper understanding of it now. And guess what? You'll go back in a year and you'll read it and you'll go, wait a minute. That wasn't in there either. Right? So things evolve and we get deeper understanding as we experience more, as we ruminate on things, as we meditate on things, and as we experience.
Speaking of meditation.
Let's meditate. I think that sounds good.
Let's give the gift of understanding. How about it? I think that's what the world needs. What do you think? Absolutely. We're going to turn down the lights and I want to invite you to get comfortable. Peace, love, and understanding. Peace, love, and understanding. Peace, love, and understanding. Pray the highest good for everybody. Pray the highest good for everyone. Pray the highest good for everybody. And we pray the highest good for everyone. Claim a world that's safe for all the children. We claim a world of peace for all the nations. We claim a world that works for all the people. And we claim a world of love for all creation. There is peace, love, and understanding. I see peace, love, and understanding. Peace, love, and understanding. Oh, peace, love, and understanding. Clearly now. I invite you now to go within. Just take a moment to breathe. Gently, easily, allowing it all to just come together in whatever way it needs to in this moment. And so this morning we celebrate how far you have come, how far we've all come. We're a little further down the road than we used to be. A little more patient, a little more accepting, a little more allowing. We're beginning to see the bigger picture. We're beginning to see that there is this wonderful, marvelous, divine blueprint. This higher power that's working in and with each and every one of us. And we are grateful. And so this morning, if you know of someone that you'd like to pray for this morning, maybe there's someone that you perceive maybe needs some understanding. And you think to yourself, how can I be more understanding of this person? One way to do that is to pray for them. Pray for their highest good. May the eyes of their heart be open and enlightened. May they receive all that they need in this moment, in this day. We are so grateful for that divine flow, that divine source that feeds into each and every one of us. As we make our connection this morning, and we hold all of our loved ones, our family, our friends, the children, the grandchildren, the friends and neighbors, co-workers, the person on the street that we meet coincidentally. We see, we understand. There are no accidents, but we are guided in every step of the way. We imagine a world that works for everybody, where each person has all that they need, fulfills their potential, their purpose, shares their gift with the world. Because every gift is important. Every person has value and worth. We believe that. We trust that. We are grateful. May all be well. May all find peace. And may we all truly understand. Now let's wait in the quiet for just a moment. And so we are grateful. We're grateful and we're thankful. The richness and that energy that we feel knowing we're surrounded in complete grace today. In the name of the Christ we pray, in the name of the good, the holy, the sacred. Amen. And so it is. Yeah. All right, take a moment to stretch. Move your back just a little bit. Yeah.
Good morning, y'all. What a wonderful message this morning. Thank you so much. My name is Blake Sims, and it is my pleasure to be your platform assistant today. And golly, I just hope everyone's appreciating just the energy in the room. I don't know if you can feel it, but it's just such a wonderful place. And we are so lucky that we do have a place to come and get reconnected to self, and hopefully that's a place that's special for you, and I hope you can feel it online as well as in the room. And we're just so grateful that everyone's here, because all of us contribute to that energy. It would be a completely different space without you here. And it's just nice to get up and make the journey and come as you can, whether online or here, and just participate in this collective experience of holistic healing. And hopefully we'll get recharged and we can take it out with us. If you like this feeling of today, there's many ways to get replugged and recharged again and fill that cup again and empty it over and fill it again with our events. And we have so many good things going on. As you can tell, the energy in here is a little different. I mean, I think a lot of us have come from different traditions, and I think a lot of us are used to weekday services that are, maybe a little, I don't know, where it's a little more involved, or where you feel like you got to put on a costume or a mask to come out and enjoy these activities during the week. But they are simply just for you, no pressure, no change, this energy. So whether it be a game night or a book club, it's this presence. So I encourage everybody to find something that they enjoy. Something that is coming up this week will be the last class of the spiritual economics class, and that's by one of the giants in literature here within Unity, and that's Eric Butterworth, who has been a huge, big shift for me. It's basically Taoist Christianity, which is kind of Unity. And I would highly recommend you check out his book, and it is on spiritual economics, and empty that cup, release to receive. Seems to work. So check it out if you'd like. You can join even if you haven't. I mean, just hop right in. It's a wonderful group of people. It's via Zoom. You can find the link on the website, and it's just a wonderful group of people, and you get to know each other in a little deeper, more intimate setting, and share as much as you wish. Game night will resume next Wednesday, and that is fun. I mean, it's just good to have an excuse to get out and just come and have some refreshments, some coffee, and just sit and enjoy getting to know each other in a different setting. And there's always a good excuse for a laugh. And again, the yard sale, that's a big one. That's coming up on July 21st and 22nd. That's a Friday and Saturday, and it begins at 8 a.m., okay? So if you're a yard seller, you can actually sleep in, and you can come at 8. So this is a really wonderful opportunity to, clean out anything that you, and I wouldn't even say it's something you don't want, but it's something that maybe you really valued, but you've used it, and maybe it's time for someone else to experience that goodness that you've gotten. Maybe it's a book that has really spoken to you, and it's time to share it. It's in here, so take it and let somebody else participate with it. Maybe it's a house plant that you'd like to rehome. The landscape crew, along with Sandy and Susan, we're going to be working on the peace garden here outside by the back door where the peace pole is, and redeveloping that. So it's going to become even more of a focal point. And as you can see right now, it's chock full of perennials. And we want to add to that collection, but we also want to add other things, and there's only so much real estate in that spot. So we're actually extracting some of those things. So at the garage sale, we're actually going to have a lot of those perennials, those beautiful perennials, the lilies, some of the echinacea, any of the other items that we have too many of. We're going to pot those up, and that will be available for purchase at the yard sale. So I think it's a wonderful way to actually take some of the grounds of this special place home with you and plant that in your yard, and it's got that vibration of unity, and I think it'll be a little bit of a joy, and it is a perennial, so like all good spirit, it continues to replicate, and it does best when it's divided and spread. So I think it's a good symbol too. So we'll have those for sale as well, so I would recommend you come out to the yard sale for that. So again, that is going to be the 21st and 22nd. I believe that is about it. We have our prayer chaplain ministry right after service. I am one of those today. I'm not sure if I have somebody with me today, but we'll meet over there at the quiet space, and Dory. Oh, hey, Dory. And we'll meet you there, and we'll be so happy to hold sacred space with you and just share in the now. Last but not least, I want to thank everyone so much for the volunteering. I mean, it takes a village. Thank you to Melanie, Kayla, Chris, as always, for the beautiful music, Jeff, of course, Leah, our birthday girl, and of course, our Mr. Mustard gun. James, Colonel Mustard.
It's gold.
It's gold. It's gold. Anyway, well, thank you so much, and blessings, and I hope I'm not forgetting anything. All right.
Thank you, Blake. We got to have Blake back to sing again, too, right? Yeah, absolutely. All right, so at this time, we want to give everyone the opportunity to financially support the mission and vision of our Unity community, giving back to where you are fed. And if you feel that you are one of the table legs or one of the pillars and you would like to support, we really appreciate it. As we said last week, kind of offerings have been down a little bit because it's summertime. So anything that you can do to help us would be fantastic, and we would really appreciate it. Anybody here for the very first time? Anybody? Welcome. Hey, you're Unity. Who else is here? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Somebody back there too? Yay! Thank you for being here. Anybody else? Did I miss anybody? How about here? Anybody here for the second time? All right, you came back. Good job. Give those people a star. How many here for the third time? Anybody? All right, how many are just always here? Okay, good. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We now affirm that we have a growing spiritual community. At Unity, we always have more than we need. Double and triple, that's how we grow. We claim our prosperity. Our loving source abundantly provides the highest good in all of our lives. We claim divine love and all good grace. We behold the Christ in every face. Time after time and day after day, we declare and decree our ever-expanding prosperity. Money for our mission, money for our vision comes to us easily, effortlessly, and continuously. We feel it in our hearts and see it in our minds. The manifestation arrives always on time, and we are grateful. Say with me, I matter. I make a difference. Let's say together our statement of giving. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all I receive, and all that I am. All right. Thank you, ushers. Go with the flow. Come on, go with the flow. Go with the flow. Let's go with the flow. Everybody get in the groove and go with with the flow. Well, affirm you're good. Affirm you're good. Affirm you're good. Affirm you're good. Everybody get in the groove and affirm you're good. Come on and go, go, go. Go with the flow. Let's go, 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 go with the flow. Everybody get in the groove and go with the flow. Play, Chris. Let's praise everyone. I praise everyone. Let's praise everyone. Everybody get in the groove and praise everyone. Come on and go, go, go. Let's go with the flow. Let's go, go, go. Come on, let's go with the flow. Everybody get in the groove and go with the flow. One more time, Chris. Well, let's go, go, go. Let's go with the flow. Let's go, go, go. Go with the flow. Everybody get in the groove and go, go, go. Oh, oh. All right. Yeah. I want to say thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, media team, for helping us out, and all of our volunteers. Thank you, Leah, for forgiving me. And next week, there will be blueberries. We will have blueberries. We have someone who's been growing organic blueberries, and so Tony will have those. And so if you want to see him now, you can go ahead and say, hey, Tony. And yeah, yeah. All right. So next week will be blueberries, and you can go ahead and order those from him this week, and the church gets a percentage of that, so we appreciate that. There's also a lady who had recently moved here within the last week, and the house that was supposed to be ready is not ready, and so she needs a place to stay. It's a temporary housing, so if you can help with that, please come and see me and let me know. We really appreciate it, and then we can kind of put you in touch. All right? Okay, one more thing. Susan, come on down and play the quilt.
Do you want this mic?
Oh, very good.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
You want to chat about the quilt for a little bit?
Well, sure. I love the quilt. You know, a quilt
fun.
is wonderful because how many here have quilts at home? I remember when I was a kid, I had a little quilt that my grandmother had made me. Or I think it was it might have been my aunt. But anyway, it was somebody made me a quilt. And I would get under that quilt and I was so comfortable and so warm in those cold Indiana winter nights. You know, it was cold and just to be safe and have that good feeling. And so Susan has created these quilts for us that they're not quilts that you put on your body. They're designs and they're works of art. They're beauty. And this one here she's just created for us. It's called the Haven of Peace.
It was inspired by the barn quilts in the area, and I was, when I first came here, I was wow, the beauty of the place, the grounds, and I come in and I see the smiles, and that's even like, wow, the experience. And little did Blake know, he was like really channeling, what I wanted to get across, because it is an experience, and it does bring a sense of well-being, and we all know it when we're a part of this community. And I don't know about you, but I'll meet people out there, and I'll say, they have a sense of connection, and I want to invite them to the place, and I get this deer in the headlights look. I get this, well, maybe.
I've already been to church. I know what that's all about.
Yeah, exactly. And so the quilt is this amazing way to say, well, we have got a one-of-a-kind, world's only, gigantic quilt, and on beautiful grounds, and you should just drive by sometime and see it, And we change it out because there's wonderful messaging that we can always put out there. But the original plan is 4 quilts, 1 for each season, all designed to help people find their well-being, find their peace, right? And we are about ready to release our summer quilt. But in recognizing that there's opportunity to have people come out and see our quilt, and have people come out and see the community without saying, hey, come to my church.
Yeah, right.
We have been working on, for quite some time, a barn quilt of our own, which is just 1 square, and it represents unity of Greenville. And the design, each of the little colors on it represents the 12 powers of unity. And the center lotus inside is our haven of peace, and it represents that.
And the mustard color you see, that's understand.
If you notice, yeah. But this little icon that we've developed, we can now put that out there in various forms and play with. And I was thinking others might have other ideas.
Yeah.
Maybe there's quilters that could use this icon and bring forth an actual quilt, or maybe
Beautiful.
jewelry makers. Right?
You mean to create a real quilt?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have now that we have that, we can develop fun things, and we've started with, because I'm trying to raise money for the summer quilt. Can't put the summer quilt up till we raise the money for it. But I have got some watercolor prints. That's an archival watercolor paper, and it's finished off with gold finishes, gold metallic finishes. And right now I only have 3 of them, and with a $75 donation, you can take this home. And I have 3 of them with me today.
Beautiful.
The other thing that is fun we have these little packets of these little social cards. And they have half of them, you have them out.
Yeah.
Half of them have our little barn quilt, Unity
Haven of Peace.
Peace Quilt Project. And then the summer quilt, which I think we're about ready to show up on the screen here. There it is, our summer quilt. But these cards are very fun. Say you've got a waitress that has really been having a busy day, rough day, and you see she's struggling, but she's done her best to service you. These little cards are really fun to just leave behind along with a tip. And it says, this one says, find your peace, then show it to the world. And on the back side of it is a little QR code so they can scan it, takes it to our home page, and then underneath it, it says the Unity Peace Quilt Project, Unity of Greenville. So it intrigues, right? Causes interest. And this one, because we've got shine, it says, may you find your peace and shine it to the world. So there's a pack of 20, and with a donation of $20, you can have one of these. Now again, these are limited. I think we only have 30 of them.
Okay, 30 packages?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so it's limited. So $20 donation, and you can take one of these home.
Beautiful,
All right?
beautiful.
Okay.
All right, so they can get a one of these for $20 donation.
Yep.
And you can get one of these for $75, right?
And this 12 by 12.
Just call me Vanna White.
You're doing a good job. We're also taking orders if, so this is the design of this, if you want, Vanna,
Sure.
if you want to hold that up.
Absolutely.
The design of this is set in the Metropolitan Museum of Art poster style. So with our quilts in watercolor with the description.
What if you wanted to get us, one of those bigger art pieces?
So
Can you do that?
that's what I was about ready to tell
Oh,
these
okay,
people.
sorry.
Yeah. So we're also taking orders for a 16 by 16 stretched canvas. That's something we have to order. So if you're interested, that's for a donation of $125 or more, and then we can order that and get it to you fairly quickly.
All right.
And then, so I have a table, which I had the table set up, but somebody came in and says, "What's this table doing here?" and took it down.
I won't tell you who that was.
But we have a table set up back here, and you can give your donation there. Okay?
Thank you, Susan. Thank you so much. Let's give Susan a hand. She'll straighten me out later. It's okay. All right, how do you feeling? What a great day, right? Let's all stand together. Did I miss anything? All right, don't forget your yard sale stuff. Next Sunday after the service, you can drop it off in the pavilion, and we appreciate whatever you can do very, very much.
Actually, if you would like to contribute to the quilt project and
Yes.
you don't want anything because you're actually trying to get rid of stuff or whatever, you can make a contribution towards the summer quilt without ordering anything or
Yeah.
purchasing anything.
Just see Susan.
Yeah.
Just see Susan. Thank you, Susan. We love you. We bless you. We behold the Christ in you. We appreciate you. Yeah. All right. Okay, let's say together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. For wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you.